This team also for head coach Chris Collins, who's trying to guide Northwestern to the NCAA tournament for the third year in a row. They can still get there despite a 3-7 conference mark. They need resume-building wins. They could get one here today against Wisconsin. Badgers control the opening tip. Steven Crowell, the big man, has been playing excellent as of late in his 5th season. Out to Klesmit and into the corner to the sophomore John Blackwell, around and out. Barry the rebound for Northwestern.
Good job rotating out of the double team for Northwestern. Got a hand up to bother Blackwell's release.
Both these teams coming into this game off losses. Northwestern a home loss to Rutgers, and 37-point virtuoso performance by freshman Ace Bailey. That's Jalen Leach, the grad senior, and a good start for the home team.
Jalen Leach has scored 15 points or more in 5 of his last 6 games, coming off a season-high 23 against Rutgers. Gonna need a lot of that this afternoon.
Here's Crowell for 3, and the answer off the mark. Nick Martinelli the rebound. And a juiced crowd here on this Saturday afternoon. The freshman Angelo Cheravino misses from deep for Northwestern. Here come the Badgers in pursuit of their first bucket.
We see Cheravino coming out very aggressively, knowing that he's got to produce with Brooks Barnheiser out this afternoon.
First foul of the game. Keith Kimball, Michael Irving, Mike Littlewood are referees. And Wisconsin, coached by Greg Gard. In his 10th season, he's 10-5 all-time against Northwestern. Trying to guide Wisconsin to their 7th NCAA tournament appearance under his tenure as head coach. He's been to the tournament a bunch. Of course, a longtime assistant under Bo Ryan.
Well, Greg Gard, to me, is fascinating because the way that Wisconsin is playing right now compared to the way they played under Bo Ryan, totally different. Totally different. This is a high-octane offense, and Wisconsin can sting you at all 5 positions.
More points, more threes. Here's Nick Martinelli for Northwestern off the front iron. Crowell the rebound. Badgers shot just 9 of 27 from three-point range in a loss to Maryland earlier this week. They're 0 for 3 to start this game on the road against Northwestern. Crowell in the paint, guarded by Matthew Nicholson. Scoop shot short. Nicholson the board.
Matthew Nicholson doesn't get enough credit as being a premier defensive big in this league. And I know the teams try to go at him all the time, but he really does a great job interior defensively.
Jalen Leach, in his first and only season with Northwestern, has had an impactful season in Evanston. He's got Northwestern's first 5 points.
Tell you what, Leach looks like he's back at Fairfield. As comfortable as he's been playing, especially in the last month. And Northwestern's needed it desperately.
Here's John Tanjay from the elbow. And the Badgers have started 0 for 5 from the floor. Leach for 3. Well short. Blackwell might have partially altered it. Ty Berry on the second chance, and it's an 8-0 start for Northwestern. Playing without their best performer, Brooks Barnheiser, Northwestern looks inspired.
They do, and they look like a team that has some desperation about them, Chris. Having lost 2 games here in the last month at home, Ty Berry getting the call this afternoon, and answering with authority.
So with Brooks Barnheiser out of the lineup, I guess the good news for Northwestern is they have another high point per game producer in Nick Martinelli in the lineup that they can rely on, averaging just under 20 points per game. But defenses are really going to be keying on him even more than perhaps they were before, right?
Yeah, they're going to load up on him. And you know, that's what Chris Collins comes into play, because Northwestern probably has the biggest playbook in the Big Ten. And so in terms of finding spots for Martinelli to be effective, that should be the least of the concerns of the Northwestern fans, because, believe me, they can put him in position to score.
Kamari McGee, Carter Gilmore first off the bench for Greg Gard in Wisconsin. 3 minutes in and scoreless for the Badgers.
Nolan Winter's got to be a young man that steps up for Wisconsin. Got a ton of game and at that side.
Barry with the takeaway on McGee. Badgers don't turn the ball over a ton, only about 10 times per game.
Oh,
Leach
man.
in and out, and Winter finds the rebound.
Well, that was a nice crossover against John Blackwell, who's a very good defender.
Everything but the finish there for Jalen Leach. Here's the aforementioned Blackwell who gets to the rack.
And John doing a great job of recognizing his team needs to get on the board and not settle for jumpers, but put pressure on the D getting downhill.
Blackwell's averaging 18 points per game in Big Ten play, an outstanding sophomore campaign for the native of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan.
Well, that is a nice hard hedge there by Winter.
Martinelli double teamed and a foul called on Blackwell. Wisconsin trying to find its footing. Northwestern always plays strong inside Welsh Ryan. The same is true today. Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram trucks, built to serve. Tons of history when you come to the Big Ten. Northwestern trying to add to it with an upset win on number 17, Wisconsin. Did you know that the first NCAA championship game was played here in Evanston at Patton Gymnasium, March 27, 1939? Oregon beat Ohio State in that inaugural NCAA championship game. Northwestern, of course, did not play in the NCAA tournament that year. They wouldn't until 2017, but a tribute to what Chris Collins has done here on campus. He's guided Northwestern to all three of their NCAA tournament trips now.
This is the golden era of Northwestern basketball. Has not been this good, this consistent in its history. And so Chris Collins has this thing rolling and only trying to continue to build on their recent success.
Nick Martinelli on the baseline jumper. It's out of bounds. Wisconsin ball. Badgers opened the game with 6 empty trips before their first field goal and also have turned it over.
Martinelli loves those baseline jumpers, so he got to where he wanted to go, just didn't convert.
Hit a game winner from the baseline against Maryland in January. And another Badger turnover, last touch by Stephen Crowell, out of bounds. Northwestern ball.
Max Klesman looking at the officials, wondering why he didn't get the call there. He felt like he got raked across the arm, causing the turnover. A little bit upset right now.
Northwestern sets up shop. Ty Berry off a screen. Too strong from deep. Crowell another rebound.
Boy, Fitzmaurice set a beautiful screen that freed up Berry, just didn't convert. But Northwestern really clicking right now.
Tanjay blocked from behind by Keenan Fitzmaurice. Badger ball. 19 on the shot clock.
Keenan Fitzmaurice has become one of my favorite players in the Big Ten. I like guys who want to be on the floor that understand that it's not a right, it's a privilege to play Big Ten basketball. And he plays like it, plays with his hair on fire.
A 6th-year senior, 7-footer from Overland Park, Kansas. Trips or stints at Stanford and Stony Brook before coming here to Northwestern. John Blackwell, a huge bucket as Wisconsin tries to settle into this game.
Keith Kimball makes a motion that they will check that, the next loose ball, whether that will be a 2 or a 3 for Blackwell.
Either way, he's got all of Wisconsin's points so far. And for Northwestern, Jalen Leach, number 1. Fitzmaurice can't get him the ball. Has had a hand in all 8 of Northwestern's points. Here's Sheravino. Gets it back from Martinelli, and a foul called on Carter Gilmore with 5 on the shot clock.
I really like Angelo Sheravino's aggressiveness. You know, he's putting a lot of pressure on the defense. That time, Carter Gilmore tries to switch out, and he's out of position. And Sheravino not acting like a freshman, acting like an upperclassman, putting it on the deck and drawing the foul.
First-year player out of Mount Carmel High School in Chicago. Chris Collins wants him to play aggressive, especially with Brooks Barnheiser out today. Justin Mullins keeps it in play. 5 on the shot clock. Leach a deep try. High Karam. Gilmore pulls it in.
Excellent defensive possession by the Badgers. Just kept Northwestern off balance that whole time.
Northwestern got out to a 13-4 start at home against Rutgers earlier this week. Ultimately lost that game by 7. Trying to maintain a stronger start against Wisconsin today. Here's Crowell.
John Tonje's got to get involved at some point.
Blackwell would have had an open look and it slipped through his hands. It's still Wisconsin ball with 2.8 on the shot clock.
Hey, John Tonje's just been kind of floating around the perimeter. Hadn't really looked to be aggressive yet. But I think that will change here very quickly.
McGee into Blackwell. Shot blocked by Sheravino. Winter was fouled. What a play by Nolan Winter as the shot clock almost expired.
Well, look at the block shot there by Sheravino. It heads up. Nolan Winter gets a little bit of a gift here. They're going to call a foul on Mullins. I'm not. That's a tough break for Northwestern.
I think they're going to review this to make sure the shot clock hadn't expired before the ball left Nolan Winter's hands.
Previous foul on the court is under review.
Great job by our camera crew to catch that right. Didn't get it to drop. We'll see what they come up with.
Hey, you're looking for the red lights on the perimeter of the backboard to go on. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting.
Well, if you're Northwestern, you needed to come out and have a better start than what you did previously. Let's take another look. Block shot there. Nolan Winter heads up. Yeah, he definitely gets it off.
I think so too.
Yeah, he gets it off in time.
0.2 of a second. Great vantage point there. One more time. We'll freeze it for you. So the ball clearly out of his hands as the shot clock expires. And as you said, Stephen, Mullins with his back to Winter whistled for a tough foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call there. You don't expect he's going to box out. You don't expect the shot to get blocked. But Nolan Winter, the heads up, comes up with the loose ball and going to get 2 free throw opportunities.
And that's a point of emphasis for Northwestern. We talked to Chris Collins about that. As good as Wisconsin is at the free throw line, top mark in the country, in fact, they want to really limit Wisconsin's trips to the free throw line.
Well, and that's what makes playing against Wisconsin so difficult. One, they score over 80 points a game, best free throw shooting team in the country. All 5 starters average double figures or more, and all 5 can shoot the 3.
Winter's an 81% free throw shooter. Another sophomore along with John Blackwell, who's taken a big step in his second season in Madison. 10 points and 6 rebounds per game, and Winter's got 2 in this one.
Nolan Winter's going to be a problem for the Big Ten moving forward. The more confidence he gets, Chris, and the stronger he gets, because everything else is there.
Dad Trevor played in the Big Ten at Minnesota. Leach loses it on the end line, and a jump ball is called. After Northwestern opened the game on an 8-0 run, Wisconsin has scored the last 7 points.
Well, Jalen Leach, I think, gets too deep on the penetration, because when you're in the paint area, Chris, and you turn one time, that's about all as many turns you can get in the paint.
Yeah.
You got to go quick because somebody's coming. Good job, help side defense from the Badgers.
Into Martinelli. Sheravino, a good three-point shooter. He takes it in the lane, and the rebound loose and scooped up by McGee.
Well, Kamari McGee has been a revelation this year as well. Shooting extremely well from 3 at the tune of 54%.
John Tonje draws the foul on Martinelli of Northwestern. There have been a lot of revelations on Wisconsin's team. John Tonje, I think, won as well, coming out of the transfer portal after an injury-plagued season at Mizzou.
And that's the thing. He's healthy. He got comfortable quickly in Madison over the summer. The team has really good chemistry. I believe this is like my 20th Wisconsin game. So I've been around him and seen these guys quite a bit.
Carter GILMORE in and out. I think you've had about 25 Northwestern games.
Yeah, it rivals. It rivals the number I've done with Wisconsin. So been around these two teams quite a bit. And Chris, you know what I always say, it beats working for them.
Absolutely. Amen to that. There's your guy, Bardo, Fitzmaurice with the deuce.
I'm telling you, man, Fitzmaurice is a player. He's a gamer. Look at him getting the crowd involved. You don't normally see big men this gregarious.
Hook pass, Tonje to Winter. He takes Fitzmaurice to work. Missed the finish. Rebound tip to McGee. Reset shot clock for the Badgers as Winter posts up. Double team comes, and it's taken away by Martinelli. Too far for Sheravino, and Kamari McGee wisely watches it out of bounds. Wisconsin ball.
Well, you talk about Fitzmaurice, doesn't score that often. Nice reverse pivot, Jack Sigma style.
Well, Stephen Bardo talked about this being the golden era of Northwestern basketball. All three of their NCAA tournament trips in program history have happened since 2017. The man who took them there each time, Chris Collins. Let's listen into his huddle.
Get a stop. Next time we come down, if we don't have anything, let's take a look at rub. Shin rub. Yeah. You know what to do? Yeah.
You know, Chris Collins said coming off the loss to Rutgers, he can handle losing. He just didn't think his team played with enough energy and enough fight. What do you think of it so far today?
I think they've been inspired here to start this game. They're playing with reckless abandon. I thought they were a little too tentative to start the Rutgers game. But, you know, there no holds bar here in the first half.
Sure.
And they needed it against this Wisconsin team that's coming in off of a loss as well.
Here's Max Klesmit. Out to John Tonje. Tonje underneath, caught by GILMORE. Good hands by GILMORE. Klesmit around and out. And the rebound to the first-year KJ Wyndham.
Tell you what, KJ Wyndham's going to be a player. These two freshmen, Angelo Sheravino and KJ Wyndham, bright future for Northwestern basketball.
Wyndham out of Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis. Sheravino throws it out, looking for the 7-footer Fitzmaurice, and it was too high.
Angelo Sheravino's pumped up a little bit. He's a little too keyed up, Chris. He's had a couple of mistakes where, you know, he wants to do well, but just needs to slow down a little bit.
The game really has slowed down for John Blackwell. You saw him a moment ago. 5 points to start the outing for Wisconsin. And if he's running the show for the next 2 seasons after this one, you got to think the program will be in good hands.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Klesmit, wild shot. Rebound Nicholson. The Badgers are 2 for 13 to start the game.
And Northwestern, not a team that generally scores as efficiently as Wisconsin does. They have to take advantage, and they have to eliminate these turnovers.
Off the steal by Blackwell. Blackwell pulls up. Rebound, Carter GILMORE for Wisconsin.
Great job by Carter GILMORE. Another guy's been in the program, knows what is expected, loves his role. Ooh, Blackwell got away with the reach there.
Sheravino with the steal, and Martinelli draws the foul. Could not land a potential three-point play.
It's a little surprising here. I don't know if Blackwell didn't see him coming, but Sheravino, great job going after the loose ball, getting it over to Martinelli, and now John Blackwell's got to go to the bench with 2 fouls. It's a key play for Wisconsin Same thing happened to John Blackwell last game at Maryland. Got in early foul trouble and missed the majority of the first half.
Took Wisconsin's offense all out of rhythm. Game against Maryland turned for the Badgers on a 14-2 run in the second half. And for Nick Martinelli on the board for the first time in this game with a couple of free throws.
Well, where's Northwestern going to go? Because John Tonje hasn't gotten on track yet. Neither has Max Klesmit.
Or anyone for the Badgers, for that matter.
They've got to get one of those two guys going. I think Northwestern's doing a really good job as well, Chris. It's a delayed double team on Steven Crowell. So when Crowell gets the ball, he's that crab dribble, he's trying to get closer to the bucket. Northwestern is changing the timing of coming to double team. And it's kind of kept him off balance.
Well, again, the Badgers averaging over 80 points per game, 7 points through 10 minutes. And another Wisconsin turnover. Leach a 3-on-2. Wyndham for three. Rebound tip to Gilmore.
Well, Northwestern getting some great looks.
They should be up by a lot more than 5 right now.
I agree.
Tipped by Northwestern, and Wisconsin hangs on to the ball. Badgers with 5 turnovers already, and 3 in the last 2.5 minutes.
Top 35 in the country at that in terms of taking care of the basketball are the Badgers. So they only average a little bit more than 10 a game, so already halfway to their mark.
Double team comes on Crowell. Tonje loses it. The ball is greased right now for Wisconsin. Ty Berry back on the floor, and it's intercepted by Kamari McGee.
You cannot throw a 7-footer, a shoelace pass. Got to put it up in the air to let him go get it.
Xavier Amos makes the extra pass to Tonje, and an offensive foul called on Wisconsin's Jack Janicki over the back.
Tell you what, Greg Gard going to his bench deep, just trying to find some kind of combination. Amos in the game, Janicki's in the game. Greg Gard just trying to solve this puzzle here, because Wisconsin is ice cold. And a lot of that has to do with the Northwestern defense and the way that they're scrambling. Well, Kamari McGee just blew that play up.
Now he's guarding Martinelli, a 20-point scorer, who spins free, and Crowell blocks the shot. Nicholson blocks from behind. Out of bounds, Wisconsin ball.
Oh, Steven Crowell, that might be the thing that gets Wisconsin going. Really good stop there when it looked like Northwestern was going to get an easy deuce. Watch here. Crowell doesn't give up. Amos gets in there. Good team defense for Wisconsin.
Both teams stone cold offensively.
The Crowell's got to go. We can't wait for the D. Just got to make a move.
Spins free on Nicholson, but cut off on the baseline. 5 to shoot for John Tonje. Now 2. Janicki. A brick, and bury the rebound.
Chris Collins going to have to clip this first half defense. This is as good a defense as we've seen Northwestern play in the last month.
Clinical right now against one of the top scoring teams in the conference. Martinelli coughs it up, and a foul on the ground. And it's on Xavier Amos. We could be in for a low-scoring game here on this Saturday. First to 40 might win this one between Northwestern and Wisconsin in a rivalry that goes back to 1910. We talked about this is an historic offense for Wisconsin in their program history. Points, assists, the number of threes they make per game, on pace to set an NCAA record in free throw percentage. What's wrong with the picture today, Steven?
It's called life on the road in the Big Ten, and sometimes it happens. You come out cold, you're playing against a desperate team in Northwestern, and Northwestern's playing like they're flying around the court. Wisconsin's obviously had some decent looks from long range. They haven't been able to convert. So it's a little bit of Northwestern's stingy defense and Wisconsin just coming out cold.
Northwestern ball out of the timeout. More turnovers than field goals today for Wisconsin. And McGee pulls in the rebound.
Justin Mullins has to take that look, even though he's not very confident with it, Chris. But he has to take it to keep the defense honest.
John Tanjay scoreless. Not anymore. High degree of difficulty on that shot, but he can hit that.
Well, he can go off the bounce, catch and shoot, get downhill. It was just a matter of time before he got on the board.
5th in the Big Ten in scoring. John Tanjay, 18 points per game. Leach looking for Fitzmaurice, who's guarded by Crowell. Fitzmaurice, 10 to shoot. Out to Mullins, corner pocket. Yes, sir.
Oh, man, Justin Mullins just got a technical foul. I think Daniel Freitag must have said something to him on the bench. The seldom used freshman for Wisconsin, because he's kind of laughing and smiling and clapping right now. Watch Mullins after he hits this three. He immediately turns to the bench and has something to say, and Keith Kimball not having it at all.
That's the second foul on Mullins. And John Tanjay, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, is all by himself at the charity stripe, shooting into the Northwestern student section. Tanjay with the 5th most made free throws in the country this season, now up to 127 free throw points on the season.
So the NCAA, in my opinion, Chris, they need to do something about that rule. If someone can say something to you from the bench on the court, they need to be admonished as well. And, you know, to get Mullins for a tech because he's responded to what somebody said, I don't agree with that.
That's always the case. It's never the guy who starts it who gets caught, right?
That's true. It's the one who reacts.
Crowell way off from deep, saved by Janicki. Tanjay's on a heater. He's scored 8 in a row.
Saying you may be wondering why Jack Janicki is on the floor averaging less than 2 points per game. But it's plays like that. Gets after it, gets an offensive rebound, a quick kick out for an easy look.
Tanjay guarding Sheravino. Here's Leach, cut off, baseline. Barry, topside 3-ball. Amos, the rebound.
Tanjay's got that look in his eye. He might let this one go.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Tanjay's got 11 points in a little more than a minute of action. He has taken over this game.
You can see those scores when they start get going and their teammates are looking for them. You see the end result. Tanjay step back, away from the defense. That's a pretty three. The kick out from Janicki was spectacular. Got a clean look from the top of the key because of the hustle. And then this last one coming up the floor. When you see a scorer's eyes get big, you better crowd them quickly, because if you don't, that's the end result.
It doesn't always matter. Well, a week from tomorrow, it's going down live in the Big Easy as the NFL on Fox team hosts America's Super Bowl party. Performances by John Baptiste and the Tubi red carpet with Olivia Culpo. The Super Bowl 59 pregame show live at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox and streaming on Tubi. I get a kick out of the ads where Gronk says it's time for Super Bowl licks. And there's no, Gronk, it's Super Bowl 59. I get a kick out of that.
Yeah, Gronk, he likes to play that.
He does.
He likes to play down a little bit, I would say.
He's smarter than he looks.
Oh, heck yeah. I heard he took care of his money quite well when he was playing professionally.
Good for him. Well, there's a tough bucket there by Nick Martinelli. 4 points for the junior from just up the road in Glenview.
And they're going to have to work through him a lot more often here. They want to try to get or snatch momentum back in this game.
Tanjay loses it and a foul is called. Foul on Matthew Nicholson, the big fella for Northwestern, his first.
Now see, I think Michael Irvin got that one wrong. I thought Martinelli pushed Tanjay before he collided with Nicholson. So that's a tough break on Nicholson, but it may play out well for Northwestern so that Martinelli doesn't get a foul, because he certainly pushed him.
And Tanjay whistled for a travel. Northwestern ball. Seven turnovers for Wisconsin.
We talked about Jalen Leach having a big game last game against Rutgers. And without Brooks Barnhizer in the lineup, he's got to be one of the guys that steps up.
Martinelli, all three of these.
Martinelli doesn't take many. That's his 26th made three on the year. But he is good from long range.
Limited sample size, but shooting 41% from distance. Tanjay inside. You know, he can score from anywhere in the half court.
Well, the thing of it is, he's so strong, and he understands how to get his center of gravity lower when going to the rim.
And he's matched up with a first-year player in Cheravino. Tanjay is a sixth-year senior. Ty Berry with a big answer, his second triple of the game. Wildcats stay in front. Under 4 to go in the first half. It's rolled to Tanjay.
Cheravino's got to be careful. He's a little over-exuberant.
Oh, my goodness. John Tanjay, engine hot right now, up to 16, all in a row for Wisconsin.
All this with John Blackwell saddled with 2 fouls on the bench.
You know, and that was the thing in the Maryland game, too. It was Blackwell and Tanjay, who also had 2 fouls in the first half. They both had to sit. Cheravino misses for Northwestern. So at least Wisconsin has one of its top 2 scoring options on the floor here. Feeding the hot hand, and why not?
Good patience by Wisconsin thus far.
Janicki draws iron, nothing else.
So Chris Collins trying to get a set play for Ty Berry here, I believe. Watch Berry come up here.
Having a big game, Ty Berry with 9 first-half points.
That's great action from Northwestern. The first option is Martinelli in the post. Wisconsin is drawn to that. Now Ty Berry comes on a backside screen and pops open for a look. Good recovery defensively by Jalen Leach.
5 on the shot clock. McGee, lane line, swatted away by Nicholson. One of the program's best in blocks, adds another to his career ledger, his 110th career block.
Ty Berry doing his best to elevate his scoring output with missing Brooks Barnhizer this afternoon. It's like Ty Berry of old.
Always a fun week in college basketball. This week, the American Cancer Society Coaches versus Cancer Suits and Sneakers Week, where you will see your favorite coaches suiting up and wearing sneakers to promote the American Cancer Society's vision to end cancer as we know it. To donate and learn more about Coaches versus Cancer and setting the screen to save lives, visit coaches.cancer.org. It's nice to shine a bright light on a very serious issue, and Wisconsin spent time at the local children's hospital in Madison earlier this week and had patients at the hospital decorate their shoes, which you're seeing on display right now. I tell you what, Greg Gard, looks like he got a custom pair, out of the box. His shoes are really sharp as his Badgers commit a shot clock violation, and it's Northwestern ball.
No, I think that's a great thing that Wisconsin did with those young people who were struggling with this dreaded disease, and they did a heck of a job designing those shoes, man. I think Sharice Chambliss, assistant coach, has a pickle on one and a burnt chicken nugget on the other.
Yeah.
I think that kid was hungry when he was designing those shoes.
Never thought about that combo before, but maybe he's onto something. Martinelli around the 10 and off.
Well, Kamari McGee did an outstanding job.
Oh, he got that to drop. He was jostling for control, and he drew a foul as well.
So he starts the play by boxing out 7-foot Matthew Nicholson. Smallest guy on the court. Doesn't matter. Kamari McGee getting busy at the rim. Splits the D. Strong enough to get it up on the glass. Excellent job by Kamari McGee. Giving the Badgers a nice jolt there.
From Racine, Wisconsin, which is actually not that far from here in Evanston, just a straight shot up the Lake Michigan shoreline. He cannot complete the three-point play. 87% free throw shooter, a rare miss.
Kamari McGee, one of these players that could easily get into the broadcast game after he's finished.
Martinelli drops it in the well. McGee should enroll in your curriculum.
He might have it. He might not need it as good as he is. No, he is a really, he might be the unofficial mayor of Madison, Wisconsin.
Step back, John Tanjay off the iron. Final minute of the half. Offense has picked up a little bit for both teams.
Ooh, Kamari McGee, active hands.
Jalen Leach, 8 points in the first half.
Well, that was a rare staggered screen that Leach took advantage of. Was able to lose McGee to get that three off.
The lead to 6 for Northwestern. Shot clock still on. McGee, it's tipped by Martinelli. Klesmit can't come up with it. And a tie-up is called. Possession arrow, Wisconsin, with 2.5 seconds left on the shot clock. Ram Truck's halftime report is coming up. We'll bring you stats and analysis as well as highlights from around the league. Great day of college basketball underway.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. One of those being Arkansas going into Kentucky. First time John Calipari has been back in Rupp Arena. That's going to be interesting.
You think he gets booed?
I hope not.
Me too.
He did quite a great, I thought he did a fantastic job at Kentucky.
Here we go. Winter. And a shot clock violation, another one forced by this suffocating defense for Northwestern.
And so you're looking at a Wisconsin team that averages 81, almost 82 points a game, has held to 25 in the first half.
Berry off the window. And Northwestern playing without its best player, one of them anyway, and Brooks Barnhizer with a very impressive start to this game. They lead number 17 Wisconsin by 6. Northwestern trying to distance themselves from the Big Ten basement, and a win over the number 17 team in the country would be a huge step in the right direction. Northwestern in their black Gothic alternate uniforms. Wisconsin in their white alternates, uniforms designed in collaboration with Under Armour and a couple players on the team. Max Klesmit and Kamari McGee helped design these Badger uniforms. Northwestern's first shot of the half goes begging. And with Blackwell back on the floor for Wisconsin, here are the Badgers. This is Klesmit. Inside, his first point of the day.
Nice job playing off 2 feet. Jump stop, pivot away from the defense, simple jump hook. Nice conversion by Max Klesmit.
And an illegal screen called on Ty Berry. Correction, Martinelli.
You look at Klesmit right there. Nice jump stop, reverse pivot into a jump hook. So let's see if John Blackwell can get going here in the second half offensively.
He had Wisconsin's first 5 points and then hit the skids with foul trouble. Stephen Crowell. 4 rebounds, no points in the first half for the big man. On that double team, Klesmit, it swung around. Blackwell penetrates. Tanjay for 3. In and out. Rebound tipped and controlled by Leach. And a foul picked up by Nolan Winter of Wisconsin, his first.
That was really good offense by Wisconsin. One of the things that Greg Gard talked to us about before the game was that in their last loss at Maryland, they shot too many contested 2s, and he wanted them to kick it out for open look 3s. That time, Blackwell kicked it out to Tanjay, just didn't fall.
And Wisconsin's 2-point field goal percentage in the Maryland loss, 16 percentage points below their season average. Looking to get anything going from inside or outside today against Northwestern. Matthew Nicholson hangs from the chandelier, his first bucket of the day.
Boy, that's a beautiful feed from Martinelli. You don't see Nicholson getting back behind the defense to make plays like that. Oh, Jalen Leach blowing up that ball screen action.
Klesmit lets it fly. And it goes for the sharpshooter.
At that time, Wisconsin starting to figure out the defensive rotations from Northwestern when they come out of those double teams. Superior ball movement, enabling an open look.
Klesmit's a career 35% three-point shooter, shooting under 29% this season. The body of work indicates he'll snap out of that slump. Blackwell spins, misses the lay-in.
Ty Berry may pull this. Stephen Crowell, good job.
He did pull it, Stephen, and it's put back in by Nicholson. No one boxed him out.
Boy, John Blackwell wanting to take Nicholson off the bounce.
Whistle and a foul on Angelo Cheravino of Northwestern. Let's look at that sweet pass again, Stephen.
Well, you see the 2 bigs from Wisconsin get stuck out on Martinelli. And a nice bounce pass. And Matthew Nicholson doing chin-ups on the rim.
Put a little spin on that as he passed it, I think.
Yeah.
That was
a little bit of English on it.
really nice. Crowell dumps it inside to his fellow 7-footer, Nolan Winter. Leach the foul, Winter going to the free throw line.
You see Wisconsin starting to figure out whenever there's a switch, their bigs dive to the rim. And so now you've got a guard trying to keep Winter or Crowell out of the basket area.
Well, Wisconsin only got to the free throw line 5 times in the first half. I think Northwestern would happily settle for 10 free throw attempts for the Badgers for the whole game.
No doubt.
Winter goes 1 for 2. All 3 of his points this afternoon have come at the foul line.
Where does Northwestern go to get going here? Ty Berry was aggressive in the first half. Maybe they can find him on the weak side here. Looks like Martinelli's going to be initiating.
There he is with the left hand. Rebound on top of the backboard. Northwestern arguing that it was a shooting foul.
They called that on Winter, I think.
Let's see. It's been corrected, Stephen. It's on Crowell now, the foul, his first. Matthew Nicholson with 5 points today. One of the 3 Northwestern captains on the roster. You called him in the first half, one of the most underrated big men in the conference. And he's playing well today.
He is. And these are bonus points. I mean, he averages less than 5 points a game. And so you get this guy up around 8 points. That will help to absorb today's loss without Barnheiser in the lineup.
Who averages over 17 points per game. Dealing with a foot injury. Nolan Winter for 3. Knocks it down.
I love what John Blackwell did. So you think that he's driving to the rim. He sucks the defense down, kicks out to Winter, gives him plenty of space to get off that 3. Little subtle things make a big difference in half-court execution.
Ty Berry pumps. Rebound loose. Leach finds it. And on the recycled opportunity, Leach is into double figures. This is Winter. And a blocking foul called on Ty Berry. Winter's making things happen for Wisconsin, but Northwestern still leads by 6.
Well, good job, Jalen Leach, coming up with a loose ball.
Sellout crowd inside Welsh Ryan Arena for this Big Ten basketball game powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Northwestern led by 6 coming out of the break. At halftime, they still lead by 6, nearly 5 minutes into the second half. We look at the latest NCAA tournament projections by our own Mike DeCourcy. His latest projections came out yesterday and show Wisconsin as a 5 seed. And notice Nebraska and Indiana with that crown logo. Remember, the top 2 teams in the Big Ten that miss the big dance will be in the college basketball crown, our all-new postseason tournament here on Fox. It's going to be held in Las Vegas leading up to the Final Four. And a great appetizer before that Final Four weekend. Of course, Northwestern hopes to be in the big dance. And a win today against Wisconsin would give them their second biggest win of the season, along with a win against the top 25 Illinois team, looking to round out their NCAA tournament resume.
That's 3 missed free throws for the best free throw shooting team in the country.
Contested look, Jalen Leach. He's got 13, picking up where he left off in the first half.
I said this before about transfers in college basketball in today's era. A lot of fans think it should be seamless. It's tough to transfer, and it took a while for Jalen Leach to become comfortable, but he's certainly comfortable now.
Badger turnover. Northwestern ball. Let's look at that Northwestern resume, Stephen. Again, 55 in the net, and they just need quality wins at this point. And the good news is they're always available in the Big Ten.
They are, and the thing is that, you know, I know that we do this for the fans, and we look and we do all these projections. This stuff is going to change 50 times before Selection Sunday. And so it's a good snapshot of where Northwestern is currently, but it's going to change. And it would definitely elevate if they could pull this one off this afternoon.
McGee picks up the foul for Wisconsin. Berry throws it up, and Nicholson throws it down.
I've been covering Big Ten basketball in Northwestern for a while, and I've not seen Matthew Nicholson have 3 dunks in one game. I mean, they are really getting good contributions from a lot of different players.
John Tonje quiets the crowd. 19 points for Tonje, who had a 16-point solo run in the first half.
John Tonje about halfway to his AARP card. One of the oldest guys in the Big Ten Conference. Smooth as the other side of the pillow.
He's scored half of Wisconsin's points today. Martinelli on Gilmore. In it goes.
He is so difficult to guard one-on-one with the spinning, the floaters, the lefties. Nice job by Martinelli.
Here's Crowell all the way over to Gilmore. Back to Tonje, same spot as his last shot. That one was long.
And John Tonje felt Mullins kind of came underneath him after releasing the shot. Just couldn't find the range.
Martinelli for three. Blackwell the rebound.
Blackwell's going to be aggressive on this possession. He's going to look to score. He's just kind of going through the motions right now. He's not as involved offensively as Wisconsin needs him to be.
Tonje out of bounds, last touch by Nicholson. It's Wisconsin ball. Northwestern looking like the flying Wildcats as opposed to the flying Illini.
Nice curl by Barry. Beautiful look to Matthew Nicholson, and the whirling dervish known as Nick Martinelli does it again.
That's a great way to describe Martinelli, whirling dervish.
Yeah.
Makes a quirky play or two a game. Carter Gilmore for three. Oh, a huge bucket for Wisconsin. Now down 5.
Tell you what, you talking about Carter Gilmore, percentage-wise, 38% on the season, but doesn't take that many. That might be his most impactful one thus far.
Barry in the lane. It gets stuck. Badger ball.
Ty Barry thought he got hit on the way to the bucket that time. Tell you what, though, that Carter Gilmore three, that might be the turning point that gets Wisconsin's offense going.
The walk-on turned scholarship player with the last bucket for Wisconsin. Back to him. He hits another.
Okay, I see you, Carter Gilmore. Stepping up big time.
Averaging 3 points per game. He's got 6 now. Mullins misses the answer, and Winter the rebound.
That's not the shot you want if you're Northwestern. You've got Wisconsin making a run.
Klesmit loses the handle, but draws the foul. And it's on Ty Barry of Northwestern. Barry's second, and how about Carter Gilmore?
When you got a guy coming off the bench in a reserve role and he sticks 2 threes, you're rolling.
Our game summary is sponsored by Progressive. Get slam dunk savings today. Northwestern still with the edge in shooting percentage, but the Badgers are heating up from deep already with 10 threes in the game. Speaking of slam dunks, Northwestern's had some good looks in the paint today.
They've done a good job of spreading out the Wisconsin defense. You see Martinelli attacking, coming off of a up screen there. And so they've had success getting into the paint area here this afternoon. But I want to also mention that Northwestern made 7 threes in the first half. They're only 1 of 5 from 3 here in the second, so it's kind of flipped. Where Wisconsin was really struggling. 5 of 18 for 3 in the first half. They're 5 of 7 now here, and that's why after this next free throw, we might be tied up.
Klesmit's an 84% foul shooter. One more coming his way, and he's up to 7 points on the day.
It's going to be interesting to see how Northwestern responds to this Wisconsin run.
8-0 run in a minute of game action for Wisconsin. Just like that, we're tied. Mullins around Tanjay, beats him to the cup.
Now that's a great decision by Mullins, because Wisconsin's going to encourage him to shoot the three. What does he do? Puts it on the deck, gets to the rim, and now he's an offensive threat. Well done.
Kamari McGee keeps it alive. Tanjay underhands Gilmore. He puts it in off the window.
Well, we got to watch Kamari McGee. He got on that loose ball. Martinelli went down and got his ankle a little bit. He's hurting. He's trying to play through it.
Just gave a thumbs up over to Greg Gard in the Wisconsin bench. Martinelli off one leg.
I mean, he has very little arc on the shot. He shoots off one leg. Everything that you're not supposed to do, but he does it. It makes it look easy.
Tanjay, that looked on line, and then a foul down low. It's on Northwestern, a loose ball foul, and it's on Keenan Fitzmaurice.
Keenan lost his footing there, got back up, was off balance, had no choice but to foul Nolan Winter. See, he gets up, off balance.
That was a cross check.
Yes, it was. He got his money's worth, didn't he?
McGee stays in, however, for Wisconsin. Klesman on the baseline. Tough shot.
Good job by Max Klesman.
Scoreless in the first half, all 9 in the second. It's a foul on Steven Crowell of Wisconsin, number 2. (50-50). Remember, the score was 12-7 at this point of the first half. Just wondered how low scoring of a game it was going to be, but the offense has picked up.
Well, Leach likes this matchup. He's going to take advantage of it.
Right on cue. Leach with 15.
Yeah, Kamari McGee's not going to be able to guard Leach one-on-one. Wisconsin's going to have to bring some help.
McGee is fouled. Ty Berry picks up his 3rd. Let's go back to that move by Jalen Leach.
Well, when you're 6'4" and you're being guarded by the 5'10" Kamari McGee, this is exactly what you're supposed to do. If there's no double team coming, you got to back him down and get to the rim. And I know Kamari is listed at 6 feet, but I think that's generous.
Kamari McGee hits his first free throw. And in a close game, good to be the best free throw shooting team in the history of this sport. Now the Badgers missed 6 free throws in their last game, a loss to Maryland. McGee goes 2 for 2 at the stripe, and today Wisconsin is 10 of 13. McGee sits.
So you got to call Martinelli's number this time. Find Nick Martinelli on one of those wings.
Leach goes the other way to Sheravino, and that's an air ball. Martinelli was open on the near side. Tanjay Gilmore follows the play.
If Wisconsin wins this ball game, Carter Gilmore's contribution has made all the difference.
Wisconsin leads for the first time since there was about 5 minutes in the first half. Plenty of red amid the purple here inside Welsh Ryan Arena. You can hear them now. Well, for the Badger fans watching this game, a chance to hate watch Marquette, ranked number 9, as they take on UConn tonight on Fox Primetime Hoops. That's tonight at 7:30 Eastern to cap a great day of college basketball. Steven, let's go back to Wisconsin's last bucket.
No, an excellent outlet pass by Max Klesman. You see John Tanjay tracking it down. He doesn't get the finish, but look who's on the spot. Not Happy Gilmore, but Carter Gilmore. Coming through the hustle He has been a revelation this afternoon for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Carter GILMORE's playing above par today. 10 points. That's a career high, and he scored them all in 3:30, the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Maybe that's below par. I don't know.
No, that's probably good call. Wise decision by Jalen Leach. Even though he didn't get it to drop, he pulled it back out and beat Steven Crowell off the bounce.
Amazing that one didn't go in. Gilmore pulled down his 5th rebound, by the way. And Steven Crowell drains the 3, his first field goal of the day.
Some of the principles of old school Wisconsin basketball. The bigs being inverted. And so you've got Steven Crowell very comfortable on the 3-point line with that open look.
Badgers are 6 of 9 from deep in the second half. Crowell guarding Martinelli, who draws the foul. That's number 3 on the Wisconsin big man, Steven Crowell. Chris Collins thinks it was a shooting foul, of course.
But he never left the floor. So Keith Kimball and Michael Irvin over there explaining themselves.
Let's see here. As you said, never left the floor.
Good help by John Tanjay there. Leach trying to turn the corner. Help side defense, a deterrent.
5 to shoot for Ty Berry over John Blackwell. Rebound difficultly pulled in by Crowell.
Well, the Badgers starting to stiffen on the defensive end, and their half-court execution has been really good in the last 5 minutes.
Badgers won both their games against Northwestern a season ago, including in the Big Ten tournament, as Blackwell misses the rim on the layup.
Northwestern better hurry. They've got numbers.
Berry steps to his left, knocks it down.
And this is the time where Brooks Barnhizer would be key for Northwestern. So the fact that Ty Berry is stepping up is really big for Northwestern right now.
And a foul called on Justin Mullins, number 3 on the Northwestern junior. 2-point ball game, 7:17 to play. It's been a live atmosphere inside Welsh Ryan today. Playing without Brooks Barnhizer, Northwestern has put up a fight against Wisconsin at home. They trail by 2, and the Badgers in the second half have looked like a completely different team.
Well, they've really utilized the long ball. 6 of 9 from 3 alone. Carter GILMORE with a couple, and then that starts to loosen things up in the interior. You see Carter Gil get inside. Max Klesmit with a really nice adjustment at the rim. And then Steven Crowell doesn't want to get left out of the long distance part.
That's a lonely place to be, left out of the long distance party. Here's John Tanjay at the free throw line. And with that point, he's reached 20 in 4 straight games for Wisconsin.
You're starting to see the veteran nature of the Badgers start to emerge here in the second half. 10 juniors and seniors on this club. So this is not a new scenario for them, clawing their way back into the game on the road.
Jalen Leach guarded by Blackwell. Martinelli probing, guarded by Klesmit. Up it goes, wide left.
Good move, though. I mean, you know, you're 8 to 10 feet away over a smaller defender. Good decision by Martinelli.
Tanjay kicks it out. Carter GILMORE having a career afternoon. 13 points for the senior out of Arrowhead High in Heartland.
I mean, man, he is stepping up big time. Recognizing John Blackwell struggling offensively. Steven Crowell's not really been in the mix. Wisconsin getting some unlikely contributions.
Martinelli throws it up. And the rebound to Wisconsin. Game hanging in the balance here. Will Wisconsin pull away or will Northwestern keep it close? Nolan Winter. Air ball caught by Berry.
Jalen Leach has been a little quiet here.
Here's Nick Martinelli for three. In and out, and a tough rebound for Winter. Carter GILMORE draws the foul on Ty Berry. That's number 4 on Berry, one of the captains.
Well, you see the penetration and defense sucks down, and Carter GILMORE, no hesitation whatsoever.
Pass was a little bit wide. He pulled it in and still got his feet set, got a good look.
That's when you know he's feeling it.
You're feeling it, yeah.
In a zone right now is Carter GILMORE.
Well, he mentioned Gilmore, a walk-on turn scholarship player, up to 14 points now. That was just his 9th free throw attempt of the season. His dad, Brian, was on Bo Ryan's staff at UW-Platteville for their national championship season in 1991. Of course, that's where Bo Ryan was with Greg Gard. They went to UW-Milwaukee and then ultimately the big show, UW-Madison, where Greg Gard still is. This is Leach, and he's fouled by John Blackwell. Blackwell's 3rd.
Leach, good job getting downhill, putting pressure on Blackwell. And if you're Northwestern, they dried up. They had a period against Rutgers that is similar. They just couldn't generate any offense. This is big right here.
Huge shot for Jalen Leach. Northwestern hanging around.
Can Northwestern get a timely stop here? Oh, great help side defense by Martinelli, but didn't matter.
Nolan Winter, one thing that solves good defense is a great shot.
No doubt. And the ball movement here in the second half, they've kind of figured out what Northwestern was trying to do on the delayed doubles and the defensive rotations. They're taking advantage of it.
Martinelli off the iron. Klesmit's got it after a tip. Starts up ahead. And a foul is called.
Well, you see the nice action there. Leach set it up beautifully. Gets the screen and nails the corner pocket 3. And then once again, there's a theme here in the second half offensively for Wisconsin. Attack the rim, the defense sucks down, they look opposite for an open look on the 3. And they have worn that out here in the second half.
And this is exactly where Wisconsin wants you, with a lead late in the game, as good of a free throw shooting team as they are. And Klesmit 2 for 2. Good bounce back performance for Klesmit. All 11 points in the second half. It is a 19-6 extended run for Wisconsin here.
I thought Leach was going to try to go up into his jump shot, but John Tonje in good position defensively to kind of discourage him.
Sheravino misses a tough look. Rebound finds Martinelli, and he puts it in, +1.
Boy, Northwestern needed a break desperately, and they got one there. Kind of loose ball on the offensive rebound, a rare offensive rebound here in the second half for Northwestern. Results in a possible old school three-point play opportunity. Winter had a beat on that, doesn't come up with it. It's what good teams make. They make you pay when you don't clear off that defensive glass.
Second foul on Winter. Martinelli misses the free throw. Wisconsin outscoring Northwestern by 15 in the second half.
Klesmit, I thought he was going to try to take Sheravino off the bounce. But Tanje's not going to hesitate.
5 to shoot now. Matthew Nicholson back on the floor, and Tanje puts it in over the 7-footer.
There's no defense for that. Northwestern did a good job switching out. Nicholson was right there, but you got their top scorer shooting a fadeaway jumper on the baseline. You just tip your cap.
This is Martinelli, defended by Gilmore. It stays on this end. Let's look at that John Tanje bucket again. No defense for this, Steven.
One of the most aggressive scorers in the Big Ten Conference. Reverse pivot. That's a sweet fadeaway.
DQ.
Coming up next, it's day one of our coverage of the 83rd edition of the U.S. Open. Anthony Simonson chasing his 6th major. That's coming up next here on FS1.
I'm going to go there again, Steven. A lot of happy Gilmores in the house tonight watching this performance by Carter.
Well, you're looking at Carter Gilmore with a career high today. Now, we're impressed with his 3 or 4 shooting from 3, but he's also got 7 rebounds and assists. And he's really touched all aspects of the game. Carter Gilmore getting busy here. And just when Wisconsin needed it the most, I'll get it right one of these days.
Another team in red in the Big Ten.
True.
That's a foul on Max Klesmit. This could be the Carter Gilmore game. Looking back on the season, Wisconsin needed some kind of spark after just 25 points in the first half.
And also the fact that, you're talking about John Blackwell, who's averaging almost 18 points a game in Big Ten play. He's only got 5 points. So, veteran ball clubs feeling the need from an unlikely source.
I think that's one of the more underrated strengths of this Wisconsin team, their depth.
I agree with you. I mean, because Kamari McGee can score in double figures. I mean, they've got multiple guys, and, Janicki hasn't played a lot, nor has Amos. Those guys are capable as well.
2 free throws for Ty Berry to make it a 9-point lead for Wisconsin. Badgers with 4 starters plus Carter Gilmore on the floor. Here's Blackwell with an opening. Carter Gilmore off the rim. Leach has it weak side.
Leach he's got to force the issue a little bit.
Nicholson with his 2nd alley-oop dunk of the game.
That is a beautiful feed from Leach.
Leach has 7 assists in the game.
Boy, Tanje wanting to go get downhill. Watch him attack.
3 on the shot clock. Up it goes. Tanje with a silencer.
I mean, Sheravino couldn't have played better defense. I thought that was outstanding, but great scorers know how to get it done.
He's up to 25. Sheravino out to Leach. He knew that was online. 21 for Jalen Leach. His 4th 20-point game of the season. Northwestern absolutely in striking distance here.
Yeah, you know what? The great equalizer in the game is a three-point look. Boy, Chris Collins is upset with his guys. That's a good look there from Leach. And then Sheravino right there. Can't really.
The last bucket there by Leach, who's really been the guy for Northwestern. I mean, Nick Martinelli's got 15 points, but Leach, remember, scored Northwestern's first 8 points of the game, and now he's keeping the Cats in it here late.
Well, now if you're Northwestern, you've got to pick up full court. You're going to have to take some chances. You have to run and jump, double team, try to force turnovers. You guys remember at the beginning of the game, Wisconsin was really struggling handling the basketball with 5 early turnovers. I'm a little surprised that Northwestern is not pressuring here.
Wisconsin had 9 turnovers in the first half, 1 in the second.
Wisconsin, veteran ball club, very comfortable with taking time off the shot clock.
Tanjay blocked by Nicholson. It's Wisconsin ball, 11 on the shot clock.
Now, Wisconsin is a really good underneath out-of-bounds team, so watch the action here. Maybe a cross screen and watch Max Klesmit in this scenario.
Klesmit, air ball, and Martinelli's got it. One minute to play. In and out for Leach.
But now they've got to pick up. I don't understand why they're sitting back playing defense in the half court. I mean, it's valuable seconds ticking away here for Northwestern.
You got to manufacture possessions here.
Yes. But they're going to be content to play this out.
Blackwell spins in the lane. And the rebound tip to Leach. The shot clock is off. It's a 2-possession game. And Leach draws a hard foul.
He did not land very good there. He's getting up quickly.
Blackwell picks up his 4th foul for the Badgers.
Man, I hate to see Jalen Leach limping like that. He's trying to work it out, but boy, he landed awkwardly. There's Leach right there, and it's like a tailbone situation almost.
Well, just to clarify, the foul was on Gilmore, not Blackwell. So Blackwell with 3. Leach has had a career-high tying game at the 3-point line with 5 of his 8 field goals from deep.
Leach is trying to play it off. He's in a little bit of pain, though.
Here's the press. It's got to happen for Northwestern. And a timeout called.
Max Klesmit did a great job, ran right next to Mike Littlewood and made the signal when it looked like Tanjay may be in trouble.
Well, Jalen Leach has had an excellent game for Northwestern today. 23 points and keeping the Cats close.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. We talked about it. He's had 15 points or more in 5 of his last 6 games. So he came in on a heater and continues to really press the issue, especially with his backcourt mate Brooks Barnhizer not available this afternoon.
He's 16 for 30 in his last 5 games shooting the ball from deep. So he's red hot right now.
Yes, he is. And you know, you love to see players when they get into this kind of groove. It's fun watching them because every time they go up, it looks like it's dropping.
Yeah. And it's how they carry themselves, too. They look like it's going in every time.
That's right. So now you see Wisconsin with their tallest players, Carter GILMORE. Basically got 4 guards around GILMORE to handle this pressure.
Tanje's got it, and he's fouled by Blake Smith, who's in the game for that reason, to pick up fouls.
See, now you see what Collins is doing. Going to bring Ty Berry and Matthew Nicholson back in the game after this first free throw. And now let's see if it looks like Greg Gard is content to go with this 5 defensively.
Well, remember, Stephen, 5 games ago, John Tanje held scoreless on the road against USC. Since then, he's averaging 25 points per game.
Yeah. Young man understands that he can't go over if his team is to have success, especially away from the Kohl Center.
27 for the 6th-year grad senior. Here's Leach, and McGee was going to let him score, but he missed. Blackwell with 10 seconds. And Northwestern calls off the Dogs. A comeback win for number 17 Wisconsin on the road. They improved to 7-4 in the Big Ten and remain in the